On his journey from undocumented immigrant to pediatric nurse.
Yusuf Rahman was a promising young medical student in Syria when war broke out. His university was bombed. His family lost everything. If I stay, I might never become a doctor. With a heavy heart, he fled to Turkey, then to Germany, and finally, he was granted asylum in the United States. He arrived in New York with only a backpack and a dream. The first challenge, starting over, back in Syria, he was halfway through medical school. But in the US, his degree wasn't recognized. He couldn't work as a doctor. He barely spoke English. He had no money. His first job, a hospital janitor. I used to hold a scalpel. Now I hold a mop. But as he cleaned the hospital floors, he listened. He paid attention to how doctors spoke, how nurses cared for patients, how medical teams worked together. And every night after work, he studied English and US medical exams. The second challenge, the road to becoming a doctor again. Yusuf needed to pass the U.S. medical licensing exam USMLE to practice medicine in America. But the test was expensive. He had to work extra shifts to afford it. Difficult. He studied every night after work. Competitive. Many foreign doctors never make it. He took the exam 3 times before he finally passed. And then came the hardest part, getting into a residency program. Hospitals rarely accepted foreign-trained doctors, but Yusuf refused to give up. He applied to over 200 programs, writing letter after letter. Finally, he got an interview at a small hospital in Chicago. The director asked, "Why should we choose you?" Yusuf took a deep breath, "Because I have worked harder than anyone to be here." The breakthrough, becoming a surgeon. Yusuf was accepted into the surgical residency program. He spent 5 years training, working 80-hour weeks, learning US medical practices, and proving himself. One night, a young intern asked him, "How do you handle this pressure?" Yusuf smiled and said, "After everything I've been through, this is easy." From refugee to respected surgeon. Years later, Dr. Yusuf Rahman became a top trauma surgeon in Chicago. He dedicated his career to treating refugees and underserved communities. People who, like him, came to the US seeking a better future. One day, a nervous young man from Syria came to his hospital. "Doctor, I want to be like you, but I don't know where to start." Dr. Yusuf put a reassuring hand on his shoulder and said, "Start anywhere, just never stop moving forward." And in that moment, he knew his journey had come full circle. Lessons from the story. 1. Your past does not define your future, your determination does. 2. Even the lowest jobs can be stepping stones to success. 3. Never stop learning, even when the journey seems impossible. 4. Persistence beats obstacles, no matter how big they seem. 5. Success is most meaningful when you use it to help others.